Well, gentlemen, ladies, children, and all others who are assembled over here, I am extremely glad and pleased to articulate a few words in your presence, in front of you on motivation. Motivation makes extraordinary things, impossible things possible. Some of the greatest people in the world had the greatest defects. To cite a few instances, Beethoven, the greatest musician that the world has seen, was stone deaf. Milton, perhaps the greatest poet that English literature has produced, was stone blind. And Franklin D. Roosevelt, perhaps the greatest statesman that the 20th century has produced, was limping. He was imbecile because of polio. And these people, like Lincoln, or else Beethoven, or Michelangelo, or Milton, did impossible or made impossible things possible by the sheer dint of their willpower, which they culled out from the examples and episodes that they heard. I would like to tell you one point at the very outset itself, that success to be everlasting has to be won through the proper way. I would like to tell a quotation to you: rough waters make good swimmers, and a smooth sea never made a good mariner. Take the case of any great man. He had a very, very tough past. Michael Phelps, the person who has won the maximum number of gold medals in Olympic swimming, was almost drowned to death many a time, and he had a very tough childhood. Mukesh Ambani's father, Dhirubhai Ambani, was a petrol bunk boy in Yemen in his childhood. Shah Rukh Khan, perhaps the highest income drawing star in Hindi filmdom, borrowed 20 rupees from one of his friends, went to Bombay city, and for 2 months he was sleeping on concrete benches in the Bombay railway station. Amitabh Bachchan, who bestrouts the Hindi film world like a colossus, had a tough childhood. His father was a poet, no doubt about that, but he is a person who appeared for the post of an announcer in the Lucknow station of All India Radio, which is more or less equivalent to that of a lower division clerk. But he was rejected. He took it up as a challenge and responded positively to the challenge. And he is perhaps the greatest income drawing, or one of the greatest income drawing personalities in the Hindi filmdom. His wife is a star. He married Jai Bhadri when she was shining like a siren in Bombay filmdom. And his son Abhishek Bachchan has married Miss Universe, not an ordinary thing. So all these great people who have filled the columns of history are people who had tough childhoods. I would like to quote the instance of Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln had 9 colossal failures before he became president at the age of 52 in the history of the United States of America. 9 major failures. And he has proved that defeat is not the ultimate end of everything. I would like to tell you a story, an anecdote regarding the hardship or the sweet uses of adversity. That is very simple. A biology teacher was trying to demonstrate the evolution of a butterfly from its cocoon, and he brought a cocoon to the classroom, placed it on the table, and told the students, my dear students, a butterfly will emerge from this cocoon within a period of 1 hour. But there is a condition. The condition is that none of you should touch the cocoon. And then the teacher left the classroom. After some time it happened. There appeared a crack on the shell of the cocoon. And students could see a butterfly wriggling and struggling to come out of the cocoon. And one of the students felt pity, sympathy on this butterfly that was struggling and wriggling to come out. What he did, he went towards the cocoon, opened it a little more, and as soon as he opened it, the butterfly just flew out of the cocoon, flew up into the air, died and fell down. Well, what is the lesson that you draw from this? Had the butterfly been allowed to come out through sheer struggling, that would have strengthened its muscles and wings, and it would have lived for a longer period. That's why I told you at the very outset itself that rough waters make good swimmers. And many other instances. One of the most important things for success in life is that we should be passionate. മലയാളത്തിലുള്ള അഗ്രഗണ്യനായ നിരൂപകനായ തോമസ് മാത്യു സാർ പറയും, ലോകത്തിലെ ശ്രേഷ്ഠമായ സൃഷ്ടികളെല്ലാം ഒരു ഭ്രാന്തിൻ്റെ ഫലമാണ്. ഭ്രാന്തുണ്ടാകണം. You should have your perversion and aberration in life to rise in life and remain there. To be successful in life, it is difficult. But to remain successful in life, it is doubly difficult. Martin Luther King has told a famous sentence. It runs like this. If there is a street sweeper, he should sweep the streets with the same passion as Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven sang, or Shakespeare composed poems, so that generations to come will say, here lived a street sweeper who did his job extremely well. Well, friends, all is not cozy and comfortable. In 1912, Calcutta University refused Rabindranath Tagore the opportunity of becoming an examiner for a mere matriculation examination. Those days, matriculation examination was conducted by the university and not by the board. And in 1913, the news flashed all over the world that Rabindranath Tagore won the Nobel Prize in Literature. The first Asian to win Nobel Prize in Literature is Rabindranath Tagore. He told, recognition cannot be denied but can only be delayed. Many instances like that. One day, a person met a farmer. He asked him, gentleman, farmer, did you eat rice during this season? He told, no. Why? I was afraid it will not rain. Did you plant corn during this season? No. Why? I was afraid the birds would eat it. But then what did you do? I did nothing. I remained idle. That is not what is expected of you and me. You should eat the bread with the sweat on the brow. That is what is told by the Holy Bible. And at times, you should swim with the current. At other times, you should swim against the current. But swim you must always do. That is the duty of anybody in this world. The Creator has created each and every one of us with certain qualities. I like to tell you two instances. The smallest bird in the world is hummingbird, Attakuruvi. Its weight is 1/10 of an ounce, but it can flutter its wings up to 75 to 80 times a second. But the largest bird is the ostrich. It weighs it grows up to a weight of 300 pounds. It cannot fly, but it can run up to a speed of 50 miles an hour, taking strides of 15 to 16 feet at an instance. And the Creator, whether it is Ishwar, or whether it is Jesus, or whether it is Allah, does not expect the hummingbird to run like the ostrich, nor does he expect the ostrich to fly like the hummingbird. Each and every one of you and me have got our own qualities. There is none who is bereft of qualities. It is our duty to touch to life, to breathe to life, the dormant talents that are remaining inside each and every one of us and rejuvenate them to perfections and excellence and success. That is success. Field Marshal Montgomery, one of the most decorated soldiers that the world has seen, has told, nothing succeeds like success. Nothing succeeds like success. There was a great, what you call, president for India, the greatest space technocrat that India has ever produced, APJ Abdul Kalam. He started his life as a vendor of tamarind seeds and newspaper. But he is the greatest space technocrat that India has ever produced. And the most populist, I would not say popular, but the most populist president that India has seen. That is success. To him, every reverse was, in every defeat, he acquired the ability to charge forward. He would say, to recede one step forward, backward, to advance 2 steps forward, or to postpone immediate pleasures for future benefits. That is what is expected of everybody. Take the case of Obama. You know, Obama was born in a slum, an African American, a Negro. He became president of the mightiest country in the world twice and won Nobel Prize for Peace. Your success in life does not depend on how high you have risen. It depends on how many hurdles, obstacles, problems that you came across in your life. When George W. Bush became president of the United States of America, that was not something great because his father was also a president. But when Obama was born in the slums, Cheriyil janicha Obama, yes we can ennulla mudravakyumayittu Amerikayude chodyam cheyyappedatha president, that is much more successful than anybody else. My dear friends, remember that sweet are the uses of adversity. Rough waters make good swimmers. In the long run, the person who wins is not the fastest or the strongest, but the person who thinks that he will certainly win. That is the secret of success. I am concluding. Remember, every one of each and every one of you and I are embedded, born with a tremendous. Once Albert Einstein, two of the greatest brilliant intellectuals that the world has seen. One is Albert Einstein and the other is Isaac Newton. Albert Einstein once told, I have utilized 25% of my brain. You see, that person became the greatest scientist that the world has seen. So how little, how less, how meager talents we are utilizing. Let us utilize the talents. Let us, God has reposed implicit confidence in each and every one of us. God expects each and every one of us to discharge our duties, responsibilities to perfection. We may have our perversions, we may have our aberrations, but in spite of that, we should exhibit, excel, and raise to success and glory. And concluding my speech with 4 lines, which I personally very much like from John Milton. Let us with a gladsome mind praise the Lord for He is kind, for His blessings may endure, ever faithful, ever sure. That is the secret of success. I wish wonderful success to all my listeners. May the Almighty bless you profusely and lavishly to shine and succeed in life. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thanks a million.